complaining about the box art. The box art, which is down here, for this game that we're playing is Devilish, and I believe it's from the Game Gear instruction manual. It's the same artwork that appears on the Sega Genesis version of this game, except the Genesis version has like a red frame around it. I'm Eric Allen. Joe Drilling is with me.
Woohoo!
As always.
Devilish, Satan's Breakout is what we're playing tonight.
Also, Mike Ailes is hanging out.
That was a sick-ass bone zipper that just zipped up on your screen.
It's pretty dope. Also, Morbid Coffee is hanging out, I think, as well.
Yeah.
How you doing, buddy?
This game's GenesIsn't.
I don't know. Look at that box art, man. That fucking crook-eyed
I know
lizard
literally
man.
nothing about this game.
He's got a crystal ball and some kind of cyber collar.
I believe I just explained it's Satan's Breakout.
Okay.
I don't know what else you would need to know.
Well, here, let me
Is
reset
this
this
game?
here.
Is this game Devilish or Devilicious?
It's
didn't come out
Devilicious. Devilicious. Mm-mm.
It's
Taste
delicious.
that Satan. Yeah, that bone zipper is pretty good.
You have to taste.
There was
the
a
game
prince
at the end.
and a princess living happily in a kingdom. But there was a jealous devil from the dark world named Y. Is the world Y or is the devil named Y?
I don't know. Maybe Y Signal can tell us.
Or I don't. Is it a
He says he never heard of this game though, but it is some hardcore box art. It's either a magic
Quote,
card or the cover
quote
to an issue.
unquote
of
Y turned the prince and princess into two stone paddles. Suddenly, a mysterious
Stone
blue sphere
poodles.
fell from the sky. They're putting in the barest minimum amount of effort to make a story out of a game that is, like Joe said, Breakout with devils.
That is the best story I've heard in years, I want to say.
I'll be curious, is this game, like how this game stacks up to Xbox Live indie classic Wizorb, which is Breakout with wizards.
With wizards, yeah. I love that the box art looks like, as Y Signal said in the chat, it looks like a metal album cover, but they both look like metal album covers, but the box art looks like a Man-O-War album cover, sort of. And
that's not a bare-chested man with a bunch of fire in the background.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But the title screen script looks like it came right out of like an Extreme album cover,
okay. Yeah,
or
the Lizard Man is
a Poison T-shirt.
The Lizard Man is very like early '90s, late '80s death metal cover.
Right.
Like, if there was like some neon colored fire in the background, it could be like a Malevolent Creation album cover or something.
Right, but the script on the title screen is like
Paddle
just
formation,
100% like
speed.
shitty butt rock hair metal, like
Yeah. Devil
neon
with a little devil tail on the H.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just gonna play this.
I'm excited to find out what paddle formation type A and type B are.
Yeah. So this is made by Sage's Creation in 1992. I don't know anything about that. Didn't seem like
Sage's Creation was just a publisher, a U.S. publisher. They brought over like a bunch of random games from Japan. They were similar, like DreamWorks was another one of those publishers in the Genesis, and Razor Soft.
Main event for this level is the demon. So, man, this looks a lot like the first level of Pinball Quest, which is similar in that it is a story mode for a game. Okay, so I can push up and down to move the top paddle. I guess one of the paddles are the prince and the princess, I suppose.
Yeah.
Of course.
I can turn the paddles left and right. Okay, that's what it means by paddle formation.
Y Signal says that the story they made to justify this game is I breathe through my skin, so I have to wear a bikini levels of justification.
I still think that game would have been like 10 times better if she'd just been naked and hairy the whole time. Like, it would have been less sexist and also
Isn't that technically Bayonetta?
I kind of. No, I don't mean like her hair is her weapon. I just mean she's just like, she's kind of a plant, so she just doesn't care about shaving and being sexy anymore, right?
She's like Giant Gonzalez.
Yeah, that would have been more progressive and more interesting and a better way to portray that character anyway. I wonder if this lizard man breathes through his skin, if that's why he's not wearing any clothes.
Like she's just got a bush that's so massive she looks like she's wearing He-Man's like
yeah, she looks like a He-Man Merkin style kind of a thing.
Yeah. Oh man, I actually didn't start using her until after I'd like unlocked a full outfit for her to wear, so she wasn't like parading around. I mean, she was like
every time you interact with her in the
she was
helicopter,
naked.
it fucking sucks, man. It's just so embarrassing, like pandering garbage that I could not. Plus, you have a dog with a fucking knife. Like, fuck everything else. Why would you take anybody else unless you want the horse to poop on your face?
Because when you get to the end,
gave that game a miss.
To get like the last couple story missions, you have to do stuff with her, like to unlock some stuff.
Yeah, see, I never got that far. I didn't get much past the part where you unlock her. Anyway, Devilish. What's up with Devilish, man? What's up with Devilish?
Yeah, so Devilish was, as Y Signal just pointed out in the comments, did actually get a sequel for the DS in 2005.
Yeah, I saw that. I did see that, which is totally crazy and amazing.
Yeah,
and also probably a better way to play Breakout. Playing Breakout with the D-pad kind of sucks. Seems like it would be better with a stylus. It's like Wizorb was kind of okay with an analog stick, but that's still not the way you want to play Breakout.
I wonder if the DS version is compatible with the Arkanoid paddle they made for the original DS that's slotted into the GBA slot, because that would be optimal, really.
Yeah, that would be kind of crazy to make an Arkanoid style game on that system without taking advantage of that controller.
Yeah. I still really want one of those. And they're like going up in price, so I should buy one before I. Anyway, so this game was made by, it looks like Opera House and IE System Tokyo are listed as the developers, but I don't. Why am I looking at Wikipedia? I'm going to go to Moby Games. They're like much more reliable.
Right, or Giant Bomb is usually a pretty good source for some of that stuff too.
Yeah. So.
I'm not really sure what's scrolling up the screen. Must be just when the ball gets to the top of the screen, it moves up.
I think so. Yeah, I think the ball moves it, yeah.
But yeah, that's not what I was expecting this game to be. I was expecting it to be more static.
No, it's moving a lot.
Yeah.
So like the skeletons breathing fire, but does the fire destroy the ball, or?
As far as I can tell, the only thing that is affecting the ball is the one time I let it scroll off the bottom of the screen. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna fight a devil. Defeat the boss. Good advice. Yeah, you would think that the enemies would either do damage or they would. Okay, like see that time it looked like he pushed the ball back towards me faster. They may also disable the platforms somehow.
Well, maybe the fire is bad for you that way.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. This dude just punched the ball and it died. So, and then I.
It looks like Opera House developed the Game Gear version, which was the original. And the Genesis version
There's also
was like a
Master
upgrade.
System, I think, version of this as well.
I don't see anything here about that, but it wouldn't surprise me because at that time, a lot of times they would just take a Game Gear game and turn it into a Master System game. So, but apparently it was developed by Opera House, and then IE System Tokyo ported it to the Genesis. But Opera House is not a bad developer, but they're sort of like they're kind of like Tosei in that they're like a lot of the stuff that I've looked up on them because I've covered games and stuff done by them on like same name different game and sort of like researched their history, and a lot of it is like sort of subcontracting to bigger developers. In sort of that Tosei kind of way. The main event.
Here's Michael Buffer to announce the Prince and Princess Paddles versus the weird demon Lizard Man. I think Hulk Hogan fought Lizard Man, right, in the Dungeon of Doom in the late 90s.
Yeah. He wasn't a lizard though. He was.
Yeah.
Ethereal Eternal says this game is pretty good on Game Gear 2. Never knew it was on Genesis, to be honest.
Okay, this would definitely make more sense in a handheld context, I think. Like, it's sort of it's very simple and very basic. Yeah, but like it's something you could do in like bite-sized chunks. I don't know that I would necessarily have a ton of fun playing this sitting in front of a TV.
You're not enraptured?
I mean, it's okay. Kill this bat. I don't really know what... So there's all these bees mixed into the background, and I'm not really sure what they do.
They're Wu-Tang Killer Bees.
I don't know, I lost my ball.
They can just give you points. They're worth like 100 points each, which is a lot more than the average brick.
What the graveyard, or the grave, the headstone is worth. There's also that chest over there. I would like to try, and there was a big, like, bone snake on the right side that I didn't... Looked like a thing that I could hit the ball into, maybe. Okay, and I have wider paddles because I got that upgrade.
Upgrades are good.
Yeah.
Wider paddles are good.
Yeah, it's gone already, though. It didn't last very long.
That was always what I wanted. You know, man, that lasted like 4 seconds.
Yeah.
It was always what I wanted when I played Arkanoid.
It's wider paddles.
Well, it's I don't know.
Damn it.
If I'm gonna be totally honest, I really don't like this style of game. So I think I just like the wider paddles because it made it easier to not die.
Shh. I'm doing really bad now. It keeps the ball... Ball tends to move in very odd ways.
Well, the background is not just... It's not just rectangles. You got the weird bumpy sides of the...
Yeah. Game over. I'm not doing so good. I should have looked up and
Get
see
to
if
the main event.
there were any codes for this.
But you can get some extra lives.
Let's see what game FAQs. There's also, in some cases, this has a subtitle, Devilish, The Next Possession, and sometimes it doesn't have that, and I don't know if that's...
Oh man, what was the first possession?
I don't know. As far as I can tell, this is the only one. Ooh, enter the
This is the
following
only
at the title
possession.
screen. ABC left. Should give me 99 lives.
You might beat the first boss.
It's good that you have some faith in me. ABC left. I don't know, it didn't make any noise, so I don't know if that actually did it or not, but...
That's a really easy cheat code anyway.
Yeah, it seems almost so easy that it probably isn't actually going to work. Yeah, I only got 3 lives. It's alright, I can do this. I believe in myself. But... So yeah, what other things have they put out, Joe? That company? Anything?
So they
really
did a
interesting?
very they worked on a very competent port of Captain America and the Avengers for the Genesis.
Okay. I actually looked at that and thought about playing that tonight, but I wanted something that wasn't a side scroller.
Sure. Let's see here. What are they? They're still around. Well, 2012 is their last credit on Moby Games, which was Elmanage Gothic. I don't know what that is at all.
I'm familiar with the
PSP.
like CRPG Gothic series, but I have a feeling that's not related.
So it's an RPG for PSP and Windows.
Okay.
First-person dungeon crawler, modeled after classic titles in the genre, such as the early Wizardry games.
Wizardry.
Okay, sure.
So, the PSP game was the original, and the PC conversion came after.
This kind of art looks like it would be pretty much at home in that sort of game.
Right. They did actually work. They worked on a port of a Wizardry game, and this is weird. They did stuff throughout the early 90s. Then they have no credits until from between 1995 until 2001. And then
They wrote like accounting software during that time.
or they were shadow developing and didn't take credit.
Yeah, like they
about
got
anything,
absorbed or got absorbed into another company or something.
Right. So 2001, they put out. What? That doesn't make any sense. What the fuck? That doesn't
Put out
make any
Gears of War
sense.
3.
No, they put out. Oh, okay, I see. No, they ported Megami Tensei 1 and 2 to a compilation cart for the Super Nintendo. The Super Famicom, I should say. Right? So not before Shin Megami Tensei, there was just Megami Tensei on the Famicom.
Mhm.
They ported the first 2 games into a compilation called Kyu-Yaku Megami Tensei for the Super Famicom in 1995. And then that came out on the Wii in 2012, so they get a credit for that. But
So what was the thing that you you were looking at them for when you were doing your thing?
that was for that Captain America game.
Oh, okay.
And then they did the port of Two Crude Dudes to the Genesis as well.
Two
which was
Crude
the other
Dudes.
thing I looked at. Yeah.
Is that
they
like
did the port
is that
of-
like bad dudes but they're kind of jerks?
Yeah, it's actually like kind of a sequel to Bad Dudes.
Oh, nice.
It's another Data East
Are
arcade
you
game.
crude
where
enough,
it's a-
dude, to rescue the etc. etc.?
Yeah,
I figured it was like Kato and Ken or something.
No, it's not like Kato. It's not like Kato and Ken or Toilet Kids. It's they're you play as two
like
burly
Nick
dudes
Kids?
with mohawks.
No.
Not quite.
Okay.
You play as two burly. I did a video. There's a video on it. It's one of the least viewed episodes of Same Name Different Game. But you play as two burly dudes with mohawks, and it's like a flat, plain 2D brawler, like Bad Dudes. It's very similar to Bad Dudes.
Right.
It was called Crude Buster in Japan, and in the U.S., the Genesis
was
port in the
the
US
was the video game version of the movie There Will Be Blood, actually.
Yes. You drink a lot of people's milkshakes.
That's how you rejuvenate health.
That's right. So they did a lot of stuff for Data East. It looks like they did a port of Eye of the Beholder. They did a lot of D&D first-person dungeon crawly like ports of it. Looks like gold box games. The port of Eye of the Beholder to the Super NES was them.
Technically not a gold box game.
Okay, but it was an SSI.
Yes, it
Dungeons
was
and
an
Dragons
SSI,
game.
but it was from kind of their other series of more actiony games.
Okay, well they did a port of Heroes of the Lance, Mike. Is that?
Oh, that's a super old. I think that's gold box. That's older than the ones that I played. So that's like super primitive.
Well, if you ever play the MSX version, let's see, MSX, PC-88, PC-98 ports of Heroes of the Lance were all done by Opera House.
Okay, but yeah, so you see the color palette they use in this game reminds me of some of the art you'd see in like Eye of the Beholder, the kind of realistic, earthy brown and green tones that they use.
So what I find super interesting about this is, part of the reason that I started doing Same Name Different Game is that like there are these companies who ported all these games, and like that's a whole part of game development that really doesn't exist anymore, because like you basically, when the developers create something, they just use a compiler that like puts it for, PS4 or Xbox One, and so generally there's not a need for this unless they're doing a portable version, which is usually totally different, which I just think is really interesting.
I think sometimes you'll get like a studio that will do just the iOS version or something, and then they'll make a totally different game for that market. But yeah, it doesn't. Yeah. We don't have the same thing we had like in the Super Nintendo Genesis era, where you have two consoles of comparable power but with completely different ways of doing everything.
Yeah, and plus all the portables, right? The Game Boy, the Game Gear, the Lynx in some cases. Apparently, Ethereal Eternal has some experience. The Gamecom. Ethereal, there was going to be a port of Symphony of the Night to the fucking Gamecom, I will remind you. At one point, that was planned. Ethereal Eternal has some experience with that Mega 10 compilation card, and says they did a hell of a job with those Mega 10 games to the Super NES. Game finally got an English translation, and it's only the Super NES versions, apparently. So the Famicom versions have not been translated with the Super NES compilation card. Done by Opera House has, so there you go. And
I can't hear the sound. Eric, do you need to hit those gates in the face for them to break down?
Yep, I gotta hit him in the skull. The way that this ball moves, it feels very unnatural to me, and it makes this game kind of frustrating.
Yeah, it seems kind of weird.
Yeah.
The ball physics do seem a little bit odd. Also, why is Glenn Danzig's belt buckle on a fence?
Maybe he modeled his belt buckle after the fence.
He might have, who knows. Why is it always bats?
I don't know.
Always bats.
Bats and skeletons, man.
Bats and skeletons, yeah.
D&D, dude.
I started playing a game of D&D this week for the first time in at least 10 years, probably more.
No, I guess maybe I don't have. Maybe it's just a certain number of hits. It seemed like I had to hit it in the face to get it to register, but that time the fence broke. Oh, man.
I'm getting some chop watching the stream.
Yeah, it just started lagging for me too.
Is it?
Now it's better, for me at least.
Yeah, I dropped some frames there for a second. I don't know why. Let me see.
It happens.
It looks good.
Usually
now,
it's because Steam is open and starting an update, but that's not the case this time.
But I agree with you, Eric. Just watching the way the ball bounces around, it does not seem right.
No, it feels real bad, actually. It's just like, especially when it hits something that's at an angle on the side of the screen, it just comes at an angle that doesn't make any sense to me. And also, it's just controlling this is a paddle game that's trying to control a paddle game with a D-pad just never feels quite right.
No, never feels good.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, you got into the Bone Snake.
I love Kaboom and Circus Atari, but like those are games that you can't play unless you have an Atari paddle controller, you know.
Which, like, if you have an Atari 2600, why wouldn't you have a paddle controller?
Well, because you have like 3 of them that don't work.
Oh, well, okay, that's fair. The thing that I love most about the paddle controller is that there are 2 paddle controllers, you know.
Yeah, in one.
Per plug. Yeah. Okay, this guy's a bullshit artist because he can just punch your ball like past your paddles. That's horseshit.
Yeah, or he either punches it past it or just explodes it when he hits it. I don't know.
I assumed he was just pushing it off the screen, but it kind of works out to the same thing since it just kills you immediately.
Yeah. He's got fists of fury. He's a fucking stone cold killer.
He's Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
You gotta try that cheat code again.
Bruce Lee. I've tried holding it and pushing start. I've tried entering it at various places and I can't make it work. So
I do still really like the bone zipper though.
Yeah, I mean,
I like
this.
Too,
this looks cool. If it like Wizorb is a great example. I love Wizorb, and that game plays pretty well as Breakout with a controller, because the ball is smaller and the physics make more sense.
Do you have you can use the analog stick though on that, right?
Yeah, which is
makes a lot of difference
it's better than a
compared to a
D-pad, but it's still it just the way the ball moves is just better. Like this is even bad compared to like a Pinball Quest or some of the other weird pinball games that exist for
a
Genesis
spinner or a spinner or a trackball would be ideal, but there is actually an analog controller for the Genesis that was only released in Japan. But it will work on, and generally the games, American versions of games that supported it will support it, and like anything that supported the steering wheel controller will support it as well. But I don't know if this game supports it. I have no idea.
Did you see that weird video that's going around of the crazy handheld Genesis that has Outrun 2019 and the weirdest controller I've ever seen?
No, that doesn't ring any bells. But Outrun 2019 is like the worst Outrun game in existence. So
you got to find a picture of this thing. I'll see if I can find the video for you, because the controller that comes with it is just the weirdest bullshit, hacky steering wheel kind of thing I've ever seen in my life.
So was
that a real product, or did somebody make that?
I think it's a recent thing. It looks like it's one of those plug and play.
Oh God, okay. And it's a portable Genesis, or it's just a plug and play?
I think it's just one of those plug and play, only has one game kind of things. I'll see if I can find. It was a video that I found that I saw on YouTube of some guy demonstrating it, and oof,
didn't look fun.
It's just that controller, man. Fuck.
But I don't. Have any of you ever played Pinball Quest?
Yeah, I've Pinball Quest for the NES.
Big fan of Pinball Quest.
Pinball RPG, which is such a weird. That's another. I mean, it's so. I feel like we get that again now with the indie game scene, because a lot of indie games are made on a budget, and
they just do weird things.
They just do weird things, but I feel like between for the PS2 and a good portion of the PS3, Xbox 360 generations, we didn't get any really fucking bizarre shit, because games are starting to cost too much and people were afraid to just be weird.
Yeah, I have
and do shit like a pinball RPG
now, so hopefully
there you go.
It should be okay.
By the way, I found another version of the cheat code on a different website that said it was AC left and start.
Okay.
And you have to, and I think you might need to press them all at the same time.
Yeah, that's what I tried that with the one I found, but I'm doing better this time.
AC left and start, but it's not quite the same button collection.
I was distracted for a second, and now it's all over. I made it here with a full stock of lives this time, so I should be able to beat this guy and at least get to the second level.
I mean, you're definitely doing damage to him, but
yeah, I got him to turn orange last time I got here, and he's orange again now. So, The problem is the ball is just like stuck on the top of the screen.
Isn't that could be good though? Because it looks like when he gets hit in the back of the head, he takes damage. So like, if you can keep it up there, that might. Yeah, right.
Give him a concussion.
I mean, this thing looks like 1983 Arnold Schwarzenegger, as far as like its musculature, if you will.
Oh, it turned bright red now.
Well, you know what that means when a boss turns bright red. He's embarrassed because he's about to die.
Because he's naked from the waist down, and somebody just told him.
It means he's
Come on,
gumming
Snake
all the
Devil,
time.
put on some fucking pants,
All the
dude.
time, he's gumming.
Come on, it can like this. Yeah! Turned his mouth into a big triangle, and then he blew up. Alright, well, we get to see the second level, so that's something.
That's why your mom always told you, don't turn your mouth into a big triangle.
Yep, because you just
That's
blow
right.
up. Oh no, that was just like a sub-boss. Shit.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
It said defeat the boss. This is
You
cool.
look like the boss.
Maybe it's like it's like an open world Breakout game.
It might be one of those action games where you just pick up from the last stage and keep scrolling.
God damn it.
Yeah, Gradius does that a lot. Y Signal says, as weird as this is definitely visually what I think of when I think of Genesis.
Well, what
game.
happened? Why? What? My ball's not moving. I ran out of time. Awesome. There's a timer on the side of the screen, and it ran out.
Wow.
And it says time over, so I assume that's it. Cool, cool.
That's fun.
I mean, it's not, actually.
Not at all. Yeah, not at all.
I gotta say, we might be ready to pass judgment on this game.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather play Wizorb. Honestly.
I would rather
Sounds
play
like-
Wizorb too.
So did you say this game Genesis isn't worth your time?
I mean, nah. I like the concept. I love whatever. Like I said, I really like the idea of story-based pinball or Breakout style games, but just the ball physics. The ball physics are just bad in this. I think is the problem. Even compared to like, there's like, what's like Alien Crush or
Alien Crush.
yeah, like that's a pretty good like virtual pinball game where the ball physics feel. I mean, they're not ideal, but they feel pretty good. And then this, they just feel pretty bad. So
There are dozens of
maybe
virtual pinball games with good physics.
yeah.
This isn't really pinball though, right? This is
Sure,
again,
fine,
this is
but-
like Breakout.
But it's still a
Balance
ball
the ball.
moving around the screen, and
I'm saying this is a solved problem.
yeah.
But that makes me think I've got an idea for what I'm gonna have you play next week when I get to pick the game.
Is it Atari Pinball? Because that has better ball physics than this does.
Wow, that's harsh criticism.
But
Well,
yeah,
are we shutting it down
I would
for-
say this game Genesis isn't probably worth your time.
Well, it is worth your time for the 2 minutes it takes to watch the intro.
Yeah, the intro's cool. The bone zipper's
And
cool. It
if
looks
you're
good.
watching this, you've done that.
I thought the graphics were pretty good, actually. The music is kind of for a Genesis.
And the
game.
cover is
Very
awesome.
interesting. The cover of the Sega Game Gear instruction manual is.
I
Pretty
think
good.
it's the same. I think it's the same. I think.
It's the same. It's just the other one has a big red frame around it, which is dumb.
Oh right, that's right.
Yeah. Also, okay. So that's it. Yeah, we'll be back next week with some other weird shit. Genesis games.
As always.
Sometimes they're good. Sometimes they're devilish.
This one, Genis wasn't.
Wah wah wah. Oh, the jealous devil from the dark world named Y. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.